So, on today's episode, we're diving into one of Death Stranding's most complex and painfully human characters, Fragile, the woman who carries scars the world doesn't understand and strength she almost doesn't believe she has. If you ever carried a burden you didn't choose to, if you ever tried to rebuild yourself after being shattered, yeah, you're gonna feel this one. Now, who is Fragile? Fragile is the owner of Fragile Express, a delivery company trying to reconnect a world that is falling apart everywhere you look. But underneath the sunglasses, the sass, and the iconic
I'm fragile.
I'm fragile, but not that fragile, is someone living with public humiliation, physical trauma, survivor's guilt, and a constant fear of being exposed. The timefall, or Higgs cruelty, took her body from her, but it didn't take her, and that's the core of her psychology. I hate to break it to y'all, but every one of us has a core wound, something that damages us and sticks with us for a very long time. Fragile's life is defined by one deep emotional wound. She made the right choice and paid the wrong price. She saved countless of lives, but the world did not applaud her. It treated her like a monster. If only they knew what she had to do to save those people. This is a real human phenomenon. We call it a moral injury, when doing the right thing causes pain, shame, or loss. Fragile becomes the embodiment of I did what I had to do, but I still suffer for it. And I know some of y'all watching out there have been there. You know, you protected your friend in school from the bully, and yet the teacher is on your back sending your ass to detention. How fair is that? I know that's happened to me a few times where I didn't do nothing wrong. I was trying to help out a friend, but yet my ass is getting in trouble. And so it makes you feel like shit. I don't want to do anything for anybody else if that's going to happen. But I know it's not right to live life that way. Now let's talk about Fragile's big 5 personality traits. The ocean. No pun intended. O, for openness. Fragile is extremely open. Fragile is philosophical, symbolic, intuitive. She talks in meaning, not mechanics. She's the type who sees a storm and says, yeah, that's life. Not me saying anything, just, it's the vibes. She has those open vibes. Conscientious. It's very high. Duty matters to her. Even when she hates her past, she refuses to abandon her responsibilities. As she takes on her father's company, that's proof of that. This is why she delivers even when her body is breaking down. Extroversion, low to moderate. She looks confident, and she looks very confident. Like she is sure of her damn self. But she is so emotionally reserved. She lets people in, but only at the edges. Introverts who pretend to be extroverts, yeah. This one sounds very familiar. Agreeableness, very high, very high. You don't risk entire existence for strangers unless you're compassionate to the core. Fragile's kindness is a survival technique and a moral compass. Now, neuroticism, very high as well. Fragile feels everything. She feels a lot. She's very emotionally, very empathetic, I would say. Fear, guilt, longing, panic, loyalty, hope, all that she feels very intensely. Not in a weak way, but in a human way. People who have been through trauma usually score very high here in the neuroticism scale. And that's okay. It means your nervous system is working overtime to keep you safe. Now, let's get a little dramatic, shall we? Let's talk about her id, her ego, and her super ego. Now, her id. Her id is her base instinct. Her when you're born with the id. This is her default. Okay? Your id is your primal instincts. You take away all the emotions, all the things that we learn over the years, all the things that the schools and family and friends taught you. You have your id. And her id is basically her fear and her rage. Deep down, Fragile is terrified of being exposed. Emotionally, literally, everything. She is terrified of it. She is so angry for what was taken from her because of the sacrifice she had to make. She wants to hide. She doesn't, her body is disfigured. It's an old woman's body with a beautiful young face. And so she's, I don't want people to see me like that as well if that happened to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And people blame her for that nuclear bomb going off, but she can't tell the truth and people don't want to hear it. You know how people are. So she wants to hide. This is her raw, primal part of her. She just wants to protect herself. That's all her id is telling her to do. Now, her ego is her survival mind. This is the balance between the id and the superego. The ego is the mediator. This is the part that's keeping her business alive. The part that says, focus, deliver the cargo, keep moving. Her ego is always negotiating between fear and responsibility, between the id and the superego. Now, her superego is her moral code. It's the little angel on your shoulder telling you, I think it's a good idea. Fragile wants to protect others. That's her superego in play. She carries guilt like a second backpack. Fragile rather suffer alone than let another person hurt because of her. She's one of those people who'll be like, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm good. The martyr, if you will. But behind the scenes, there are an extremely amount of pain. Now, what emotional themes surround Fragile? What kind of things that I can see in her, that people can see in her, that I can relate to? All right. 1, she was humiliated. How many of us have been humiliated but not defeated? We come back 10 times stronger, and that's exactly what Fragile did. Being fragile is not the same as being weak. I have instances where I'm afraid of bugs. I'll just put it right out there. I hate bugs, but when push comes to shove, I can defend myself against one. You know what I mean? That roach is not gonna beat me up. I can kill that roach. If you ever blamed yourself for something you survived, you have a little piece of fragile inside of you. And I know a lot of us have been blamed for things, especially my community, people of color community, and I'm sure some white folks too, but mostly our community have been blamed for things that we did not do just because for the color of our skin. I hate to go there, but it's true. And it's still happening today in today's world. So it's very relevant. So I can relate to the bitch really well. But even after the betrayal, she risks trusting again. And that's courage. I've been betrayed by the police, but I still will call them if I'm being, I don't know, would I call them? Maybe I'll call them. I would still call them if I see some criminal activity going down. Fortunately, I wouldn't call it for myself, but I'll call it on somebody else if I see some criminal activity going down. But you can't trust those cops. But it takes courage to find trust again. Or when, your boyfriend or girlfriend betrays your trust. And you like, you swear off men, you swear off women, but you have to find courage to try and get into a relationship again. And I feel Fragile does that, and I'm proud of her. Now let's talk about the symbolism and the body image of Fragile. Fragile body is a total symbol. Parts destroyed, part protected, part hidden. It represents trauma, shame, survival, resilience. When she reviews it, she's revealing her true self. Not fan service, but character development. And anyone who struggles with body image, scars, or feeling damaged, they see themselves in this vulnerability. And that's why Fragile is such a relatable character. Now, why do we love her so much? Fragile is strong because she's unbreakable. She's strong because she accepts her pain. She knows she sacrificed her body and things for a good reason. And for that reason alone is why she can continue to be strong and move on in this world. She still shows up. She still helps people. She still believes in the future. She tries again. Even though her company got a lot of bad press, she did not give up. This is post-traumatic growth. The idea that trauma just doesn't destroy, it reshapes you into someone wiser, deeper, and more compassionate. And that's Fragile, and that might be you too. It's crazy because, I just had a story right now where my battery died on my recording device. And so I had to do the whole end part over again. I've done this part at least 4 times. Because after the battery died, I switched the battery and then I hit record. And then, no, actually, I forgot to hit record. So that's the second time. And then the third time was I thought I recorded everything, but then the AC cord wasn't working. And so I got no audio at all. And so I had to do this at least 4 times. And so in the theme of everything, which is crazy, that you don't give up, you keep doing it, even if it's painful, because it was painful, y'all. I don't even know if this is recording right now, but I hope it is, because it'll be my 5th time doing it. But anyway, this life is about survival, and everything else comes second. And so you gotta just go with the flow. Things will happen as they should. Maybe this final recording will be the part that breaks the internet, or it doesn't. That's life, With that being said, I hope you have a good day and have a good week. It's been fun recording this, and just remember, you might be fragile, but
I'm fragile.
You're not that fragile.
Not that fragile.
And scene.